Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Oh my gosh. So I can't go live on Facebook until what is it? I think it's like April. I'm restricted. So I am doing some interviews with some of my business partners and I want to share those for you guys. So here we are. Hello, Amber, and thank you so much for joining me today. You guys, I just really wanted to come on here, talk about, because I have so many followers, so many new friends, and I'm on a new platform now. So I really wanted to kind of share my story, let Amber share her story and really just talk about skeptical spouses and why it keeps so many people from making their goals and dreams a reality. So, a little bit about me, you guys. I worked in the medical field for about 8 years. I worked in the ER for 6 years. Then I worked in the GI center for 2 years. I was always overworked, always tired, mentally, physically, emotionally. I barely ever saw my family. I worked mid shift, I worked day shift, I worked night shift, I worked them all. And I was so just drained all of the time. And I knew once I got out of the ER and when I went to go work in the GI center, I was like, it'll be better because I'm going to work a 9 to 5. I'm not going to be working on the weekends. I'm not going to be working every single holiday because I'm going to be in a clinic, right? So I thought I had that freedom of getting my time back on the weekends. But then I come to realize very quickly that that lifestyle did not align with me. So I found a remote position from home as an insurance adjuster. And a whole change in my career. And I said, you know what? I want to work from the comfort of my home. I still was tied down to a 9 to 5. I still was in this desk right here at this desk, at least 8.5 hours a day, being told what to do by my boss. And I come to my husband and I told him, I can't do the 9 to 5 anymore. I can't live this lifestyle and be under this much stress when I have kids. So I found a girl. She made a post, you guys, almost 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years in April. And she said, love making 5 figures from the comfort of my home while being fully present with my son and going on his field trip today. And that right there was it. I said, if this girl with pink hair that lives across the country, that is a complete stranger to me, can do this, I can too. I reached out to her. I got the information. I presented it to my husband. He thought I was absolutely crazy. He was super skeptical of the online space, but I immediately had big visions, big goals, and I told my husband that I'm doing this. So he said, whatever you want to do, whatever you feel like you need to do. And I told him, this is it. I don't want to be in a 9 to 5 when I even think about having kids. So I said yes to this business and fast forward, you guys, almost 3 years. I've made almost $500,000 in the online space. I've been a fully present mom to Levi since he was born almost 2 years ago. I never once had to stress about maternity leave, daycare, the money that people pay for daycare, absolutely bizarre to me. Missing out on all of Levi's milestones. I've been there for every piece of it. And just being a fully present mom while creating a legacy from the comfort of my home. It's been an absolute game changer. Shifting my mindset from that corporate girl to that CEO mindset of I can make however much money I want. I'm here to help as many people as I can, but all from the comfort of my home because I knew I had a servant heart. I knew that I was a hard worker, but I wanted to be able to apply that for something that I'm actually worth. So here we are, you guys, 3 years later in the online space and absolute game changer. So, Amber, I'm going to let you introduce yourself for a
Yeah,
little bit, and then we're just going to kind of talk about skeptical spouses.
yeah. So my name is Amber, and I've been here for almost about coming up on a year. I am a medical assistant by trade. I've been a stay-at-home mom for about 8 years, and love it. I love being home with my babies. And my last one is 6. She just started kindergarten, and so with all of them, I was really looking for something to kind of help to lift the stress off of my husband. He does such a good job taking care of us. And so I looked, online, I looked at places and, I looked at the 9 to 5, which I love what I did, but I love being home. It doesn't fit.
Right.
And so I came across my mentor, Jamie's page, and it kind of sounded like, oh, what is she doing? And I'm like, okay, I watched the video. I'm like, if she can do it, I can do
Right.
it. I'm already posting anyways.
Right.
Why not, do something where I can make something of it? And so I told my husband, I'm like, hey, there's this opportunity that's cool. I watched the webinar. I love the product. The product is amazing. I love the benefits, seen it firsthand on what it does for me and my family. And so he's like, okay, well, let's go ahead. He's like, if you want to do it, let's do it. And he's always been very supportive of it. and and still is. And with me myself coming in, I didn't have, the finance to start this business. And as some of you stay-at-home moms may realize, how do I get in? And I was able to leverage with my husband's income to be able to come in and be able to start this business, which has been absolutely amazing. Now, my husband, as he is supportive now, at first he was kind of, skeptical. He's like, I don't know. He's like, it seems too good to be true. And he's like, would you really be able to get, this investment, paid off? That was one of like the main things. And so I'm like, yeah, we can do it. Well, I'll get it done. They have the one-on-one mentorship. They have, all the free training, the trainings each week that we do, which I thrive on and love it. And so we went, he watched the webinar. He's like, okay. He's like, well, we went on a couple calls with my mentor, and then with her mentor, we've been on like a couple of calls. And finally, he's like, let's go ahead and do it. He's like, I believe in you. And he's like, let's go ahead. And since we've gotten the machine in our home, it's been amazing. He loves it. He notices a difference in just his health. We've noticed it with our own health. And right, this, we got to share with everybody. And we do. We share it as many people as we can and just love it.
I love that, you guys. Yes, my sweet Amber, she's been with us for almost a year, you guys. And did y'all hear? She leveraged her husband's income in order to get started here. I have stay-at-home moms, single moms, working moms come into my DMs every single day, and they're like, I'm ready to get started, but I don't have the funds. Here we think like millionaires. We think of leveraging OPM, other people's money to get started. In order to get out of your debt, you got to get into a little bit of debt to get out of it, right? We're not that original W-2 job where you work a Monday through Friday where you're having to rely on another boss. We are an actual business that we are affiliated with a company that is almost 52 years old. That is $1 million debt-free company, you guys. Absolutely incredible. But I just really wanted to come on here and talk about this because I have people all of the time with the funds in hand, ready to get started or ready to get started where we can compile some options, but their husband holds them back. Their husband is holding them back from creating a $1 million legacy from the comfort of their home. So I want to talk about the process a little bit and kind of what that talks about because I don't know if y'all heard or not, but Amber said that she got onto a call with her mentor that she now has business with, Jamie, and Jamie talked to her husband and went over his questions with him. So anybody that comes and joins, Amber and I in our community and business, you guys, our process is very, very simple. We're not here to gatekeep from the husbands. We're not here to gatekeep from the spouses. We're here to share that information with you as a couple, so we both can hop onto a call. We both can, see how we can compile options to get you started. We can go over all of your questions, whatever it is that you're letting, fear take over as far as that spouse goes. We're here to help them overcome those objections that he might have or that she might have and that the husband might be the bigger supporter, vice versa. It doesn't matter, you guys. We're here to help anybody get into this business. It's not just women, it's men too. And when you have that support system from the comfort of your home, that's where your success is going to begin. And like you heard Amber, she's been here for almost a year now, stay-at-home mom, and her husband has fully supported her throughout the whole way. And Amber, I want to ask you a question. I'm going to kind of put you on the spot. So let's say that your husband, because you truly believed in this business, you said that you watched that webinar and you were like, this is it. If your husband wouldn't have been on board, to be able to help fund you and to get into this business, can you kind of tell me where your mindset would be and kind of where you would be if you were still, not in this business? Can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
Right. So, and that kind of almost, it did kind of happen almost because like we were looking at, my credit and where I was at. And actually, I'm like a little better now. But, at that point, it's like my credit wasn't great. And so even like looking, like I didn't even want to look at it because I knew where I was sitting. And we do have like many different options, you guys, with different companies that can help you
Yeah.
financially.
Yep.
Excuse me. And so it would have been a lot harder. I probably would still be stuck. I would probably still be watching, honestly, until I could have gotten either A, come up with the funds somehow, some way, because, either way. I used to run favor in between during COVID because when my husband job was down, it's like, well, what do? You find something to do.
Yep.
And so to bring that in. And that's kind of like here's like, just a little extra just to get it going. But now knowing like how much there is that you can do is like, oh my gosh, this is like huge. This isn't small, like $500 here and there. This is like thousands, you guys. And so like, oh my gosh, I could, put my kids all to college. It's just that huge. And still mind boggles me,
Yeah.
on what we can make. But yeah, it would be a lot harder. I think eventually I probably would get here, but having his support and being able to have him to leverage it is so much easier. And I know I've gotten like this too with a couple of friends, like, oh, my husband isn't so sure about it. I'm like, oh my goodness. And one of them is actually works too. They both work. I'm like, dude, you're working. You could just do this and then he can, come and see it, or you can have him hop on. I even offered that to, because it was just like, my husband is like, I'm not sure. I'm like, well, here, let me have you hop on. You can hear and see firsthand too.
Yeah.
And them being able to see it, sometimes it may take them a little bit longer, but thankfully my husband kind of saw it a little quicker. And he's like, oh my goodness, and the benefits. So yeah, it would have taken me a lot longer than it did.
Absolutely. And I love that so much, Amber. And thank you for kind of diving in and
Yeah.
talking about that because, like I said, you guys, that is why so many people don't get started in their business. That is why they let their, debt pile up. That's why they stay in that 9 to 5. That's why they stay stuck because of the spouse. So Amber here, you guys, she's been with us for almost a year now. She is one of my sweetest business partners. She is incredible, a stay-at-home mom that was fully leveraged by her husband and her husband's support to get into this incredible business. So with that being said, Amber, thank you so much for coming in and tuning in with me today. You guys, for those that are watching this or watching the replay, obviously you're going to watch the replay because I can't go live on Facebook, but let me know where you're tuning in from if you're interested in hearing more about this incredible business and how it has massively transformed their life. Please get back with us. We'd be more than happy to share it with you. It's about a 35-minute business overview webinar that will go over exactly what it is that we do, break it down for you, and we would love to see you on the inside. So yes, Amber, thank you so much for joining
Yes,
me, and
thank you.
I will chat with you soon.
Yes,
Bye.
okay, bye.